Hello again, this is Hellcry, and we've reached the end of my series analyzing and understanding the story of Y2K, a postmodern RPG. It's been a long journey, and if this is your introduction, you should take a look at the playlist in the description. After many days of hanging out with friends, telling Christmas stories, doing side quests, and grinding levels, we've reached the final hours of the year 1999. Was it time well spent? Feels like we've been here before.
Answer the phone.
Hi, Alex. It's me. So, haven't you asked yourself the question yet? You know, the important one.
Who is this?
Hey Alex, it's Sammy again. I can't find you. Where did you go? You left me at the elevator and you vanished into the crowd. Why do you always disappear on me like that? You know how much I hate that.
Daddy's home. Give him a kiss.
Alex, dear, the little girl next door who moved into Michael's house was looking for you.
Dad?
That's my name. Unless you can think of a better one. Maybe something with more shimmer, like Antonio van Engelstandel.
Where's Mom?
That never gets old.
Go to the big city with your pals.
Hey, man! What took you so long to get here? We've been waiting here forever!
Make your way to Times Square so you can die.
Throughout the game, there is this hint system. If you get lost or aren't sure what to do next, or maybe stopped playing the game for a while, you can always check it and it'll give you some semblance of a direction to move in.
You've made a mistake. You should have checked Onism 1999 and found Sammy. Wallow in despair. Let it all go. You are a failure. You've lost your best friend. Why are you even still playing? Isn't it lovely here? You're surrounded by your favorite people. Why are you going on? What's left to fight for? There is nothing left for me to teach you. You know what to do.
Hello again, this is Hellcry, and we've reached the end of my series analyzing and understanding the story of Y2K, a postmodern RPG. It's been a long journey, and if this is your introduction, you should take a look at the playlist in the description. After many days of hanging out with friends, telling Christmas stories, and doing side quests and grinding levels, we've reached the final hours of the year 1999. Was it time well spent? It feels like we've been here before.
You've made a mistake. You should have checked Onism 1999 and found Sammy.
Hey Alex, you found me! Wow, took you long enough. You wasted so much time looking for me, but I've been here all along. In your front yard, hiding behind this tree. Now it's your turn to hide. Oh yeah, I wanted to say, I love you.
Finally, after all this time, after all the aimless journey, we have found her. We have found the girl who went missing. But I guess now it's her time to hide, for us to become the missing person.
You should have checked Onism 1999.
Let's check Onism. Maybe there's a post.
When this all began, I had such hopes for your future. I wanted everything for you, Alex. But time wasn't on my side, so my efforts were futile.
I'm going to interrupt this post for 1 second to note something important. In the Japanese script, it points out that Alex in this would be the player's name.
However, a better fate lies for you in the project, but I can't tell you how to find it. I'm not even sure if there's a way. In a dream, I saw you grab her by the hand and leave this mess behind. You saved your friends and your family, you saved the world. It wasn't destroyed. It was because you listened to your heart and not the postmodern philosophy of a lying mind. You need to believe what you see and trust your brain. You need to clean your room and work on yourself. And most importantly, you need to think for yourself. Don't let them strip you of your value. Don't follow them blindly into darkness. There is nothing but pain there. There is no bright future down that rabbit hole. Leave the plastic behind and go for the flesh. If you can find her. Did you forget what you came here for? Did you forget what you were looking for all this time? She's out there. Don't trust silicone and binary. Trust yourself. Trust your own mind. Reality may be shattered, but you can still see the truth in all the fake. I only wish I could have given you this fate with my keyboard. However, no one would allow me to ship a game with such a beautiful, happy ending. They want you to not believe in yourself. They want me to make you trust in her.
Who is they? I think here it's important to note that this is BPA, the initials of programmer and lead artist behind the project, Brian Allenson. And this note isn't really written by him. In reality, in the world we live in, this was also written by Andrew Allenson. However, there's a little bit of something going on here with this post. Why would the person who is creating the game leave a post explaining this in universe? Well, I've been hinting at it for a bit, and it's that the context of the game existing is a part of the game's narrative. Andrew and Brian Allenson exist as characters within the narrative of Y2K.
As I listened to the soaring strings and strangely syncopated bass line of Symphony 7 in E-flat by Andrew Allenson, I replayed that night in my head.
This is also why, as I mentioned in earlier episodes, that there are things from earlier versions of the game, such as the photos of Michael and Alex running away from the Soul Survivor, being from an earlier version of the factory hotel basement scene of the same scenario. This is also why the song Years to Come plays whenever you face the Soul Survivor. This is a reference to the original prototype build, as well as this older version being something much more grand than it would have been in the 1.0 version. So this begs the question, who is the they that the fictional Brian Allenson, BPA, is referring to here? I've actually asked a lot of people, and it feels weird to me because I feel like there's a really obvious answer. Most people consider Proto-Alex and the Essentia 995 as the antagonists of the game. And while that's not entirely accurate, I think it's true in the sense that Alex is the antagonist of the game. Every single boss encounter has been Alex in some way or another, from the Golden Alpaca to the Gothic entities to Yuzu and the Proto-Comet, and of course the final boss. And even then, just narratively, when you think about it, all of the conflict, all of the problems of the narrative are stemmed directly from Alex. Another way to phrase this is to imagine a slightly different version of the game, one where the protagonist and main character you play as is not Alex. Maybe we'll pick Michael as our protagonist. And as you do this, remembering what I said earlier about how Alex's narrative loop keeps Michael trapped in a perpetual state, you can quite easily see how Alex is kind of antagonistic in what he's doing. So, I feel like the they that Brian is referring to here is Alex, Proto-Alex, Essentia, the Proto-Comet, all of them. They don't want a happy ending because what they want more than anything else is to be right in the wrong things that they have done. They want to recognize mistakes that they have made as wrong and bad, but also not be held accountable for them. The prime example being Alex yelling at Rory. Alex doesn't want to grow and change and become something else, but fundamentally he has to, and the game loop exists in order to permanently keep himself from doing so. Where's a good place to hide anyway? How did Sammy disappear? She was just at work one day and gone the next, right?
No way you're getting in while I'm here. Only way I'd leave my post is if the world was literally ending.
Well, If there's any time that the world was ending, wouldn't it be at the end of the game?
There have been a lot of internet detectives coming around here ever since our new hire vanished. We miss her. But why can't you just let us move on with our lives? We have no control over it.
Do you have an appointment here? Oh, are you the new intern? Please go in. You're very late.
Oh, you must be the new intern. I'm going to need you to do me a favor, okay? First order of business is make me a cup of coffee. Think you can do that? If you can't make coffee, you'll never make it in the competitive world of local news. I have very specific taste when it comes to my coffee. I like it weak, with 2 milks and 1 sugar. Don't screw it up, or you'll have to do it again. Wow, this is not bad. I'm pleased. Okay, now I need you to find me a red disk. Go to a computer, copy the master file onto it, put it on the other computer, and bring me the disk. Also, the disk is somewhere outside. I buried it last night.
Why would they bury a disk? Maybe put it in a locked cabinet, but why did this person instead bury it outside? It's also not like it was hard to spot, so finding it wasn't a huge issue at all.
Great! You located the buried red disk. Use a computer terminal and make a copy of it.
After seemingly doing a pointless task, Boss Journalist asked us for another thing.
Great! You're doing good. Wow, it's almost lunchtime. Can't believe it. I need you to go to the toy store and get my son a gift for his birthday. Buy the most expensive and fancy toy they have. Something that really shows my love.
Instead of having something in mind that would specifically fit his son's interest, Boss Journalist seems to not have a connection with his son, and is instead almost pretending to care and trying to show his employees that he cares, and flash his status by getting the most expensive toys they have. Even something as simple as, let's say, him saying, "My son really likes dinosaurs, get him the most expensive dinosaur toy they have," would signal that he actually has a vested interest in his son. This isn't a writing mistake, this is a deliberate word choice. It's also worth noting here that this is January 1st, Alex's birthday.
Is this really the best they had? I know it was expensive, so I'll be sure to get money out from my desk to pay you by the time you arrive. Mr. Jacobs wants to see you. He's down on the 2nd floor.
Ah, you got my inter-office memo, I see. Please, take this pink slip. Gotcha. You're not fired. Boss Journalist is. Go upstairs and give it to him. Let him know to pack up his desk and don't make any big purchases, as he won't be able to afford them anytime soon. I'm gonna ruin his name. He'll never work in small local Korean news again.
A pink slip? How can they do this to me? And on my son's birthday of all days. Okay. It's been good working with you. I'm sorry you had to see me show my emotions. Listen, I won't be able to pay you back after all. I don't have a job anymore. Thank you for your service. Oh yeah, you can hold on to this. I won't be taking this pink slip with me. Use it wisely.
Use it? What would we use it on?
I can't walk through here with the electronic eye watching.
Such sad news about Boss Journalist. Just goes to show, you can die when you least expect it.
I want to point out this line here. As I mentioned in the Vela video, she relates to how dying is like a video game.
In this reality, death is like giving up or making a mistake. How can you fault someone for dying?
This is quite literally true because the reality Alex presents is that of a video game.
And here, Secretary Journalist essentially confirms this point, that the failure of losing a job is equal to that of dying. One other thing I want to point out in this ending is there's a hidden item, a red pill. This red pill is a reference to Total Recall.
It's a symbol of your desire to return to reality.
This movie came out in 1990, but it's also important to note that the text description for the item directly references this scene. Total Recall is a film all about escaping into delusion and blurring the line of if it was real or not. And it doesn't give a clear answer either way. And as a funny side note, I do want to talk about the red pill as it exists in The Matrix.
You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes.
Because in The Matrix, the red pill doesn't serve the same exact purpose as Total Recall. The red pill in The Matrix gives the illusion of choice between it and the blue pill, and this is something that's brought up multiple times throughout the story. And in Y2K, notably, this is a healing item, but there's no combat encounters and your health has been fully restored already, so it is impossible to return to reality. Because Alex has no desire to return to reality.
Alex handed over the pink slip.
Pink slip?
I don't know what made me do it, but I poked the giant eye.
Alex turned off the electronic eye. Now no one can see you.
Now that we've turned off the electronic eye, it's like the parental controls have been unlocked in the game, and we can finally dig a little bit deeper into what's going on.
I'm cut content, so you should be speaking with me.
I thought I was going to be important, but then everything changed.
I was supposed to be deleted, but I stayed in hopes that you'd find me one day.
I wish I'd gotten to finish this because it would have been beautiful. Much happier of an ending, don't you think?
I didn't tell Mr. Quick I was hiding in here. This is a secret. The publisher doesn't know we exist.
I think it's important to note that, as it's mentioned here, Mr. Queck is Brian Queck, the CEO of YIIK, the publisher for Y2K. Under rare circumstances, I believe that a publisher wouldn't know the contents of a game that they're publishing. But even further, YIIK is an artist-first publisher, and they kind of allow their developers to do whatever they want. So there's no reason for this to be hiding from him, in reality at least. But again, we're not in reality. We didn't even take the red pill to return to it either. We are in a fictional game, and just as Brian Allenson and Andrew Allenson exist as fictional characters within this world, so does Brian Queck. We're starting to peek under the curtain here, and as we enter the next room, suddenly we're taken aback. This is Sammy's room from the factory hotel. Why is it here? And actually, this sort of reminds me of something. In the factory hotel, there's a room of recently disturbed soil. Much like the recently disturbed soil where we pulled the red disc from earlier. Something that was supposed to be buried forever, not brought up again, but was pulled from its resting place and copied and shared. Which also kind of reminds me of the Essentia, and how it took a human consciousness and digitized it and copied it into a vessel.
Hi, is there? It's me, Sammy. I hope you can hear me clearly. It's always so hard to get a good signal from here. I know things got dark when I disappeared, and I know how confusing that must have been for you. To top it all off, I can't help but feel that it was me that got you into this mess. Had I never met you, the world wouldn't be ending right now.
Already, we see the threads of a false narrative. The world isn't ending because Alex can't reconcile with his faults. His world is ending, and it's about to be reborn anew, as we saw with the other ending.
I'm not saying reality wouldn't have broken. That had nothing to do with either of us. That happened a long time ago. But you would have never met that plastic woman, and everything would be better off.
This line stands out as odd because the plastic woman is something that Alex created. And as we pointed out in the first episode, Alex never met Sammy to begin with. But I guess I did say that the characters here aren't talking to Alex. They're talking to you. So she's not wrong here.
But you kept looking for me. And just because you wanted to make sure I was alright, you were dragged into this mess. But I hope you figured it out by now, right? I'm not that plastic woman. I could never be someone like her. I'm not her in this reality, or any other. That's just stupid. She's a liar. She wants something that only you can give her, and she'll destroy the entire world just to get it. But I have a solution. It's so good that you found this phone and I was able to reach you. It's not going to be easy, but I think it's the only way. Come find me, and I'll explain. See you soon. Hold on. Before you come in, I feel like I need to be honest with you. I want to see you, and I want to explore the great beyond with you. But you should know that if you go into the elevator, there is no coming back. You leave your friends, your family, and everything you know behind. But it's the best choice. If you stay, the world will end. If you stay, she wins. If you stay, you'll never see me again. So, if you want to end this without destroying everything, go into the elevator. But if you want to see it through to the end, now is your chance to leave. There's no right or wrong choice here. Just be sure you're willing to accept that you won't be able to come back to this reality. It'll all be over for you here, but everyone will go on. Okay, I'll see you soon. Or maybe I won't. Just be safe.
Before you answer, I want to thank you for listening to my long essay. There's a lot we need to discuss about this, but I also wanted to point out a scene in the other ending.
Good. I understand that in your reality, you interface with the soul space via a gaming device. Man, I wish I had one of those. That would have made my life so much easier. Coming to you, asking for help. I think about how the Essentia 2000 must have felt first coming to me.
I find the way Alex calls it a gaming device here hilarious, especially considering that he is a gamer, and he knows what video games are. But he refers to it as if he doesn't know, and I feel like, in a way, this is pointing out something. That Alex can't self-actualize. He can't envision something outside of himself. He doesn't realize that he's currently in an Essentia, an Alex soul trapped inside of a digital body. And here, K&N, he has crafted a new narrative. He is restating that the Essentia is the problem. The Essentia is the problem despite the fact that he is the Essentia. This entire ending is predicated on a passing obsession he had and forces the idea that the obsession he had is your own. The whole reason you did all of this was to find Sammy, a woman who never existed. And here she is, Sammy, not Semi-Pak, leading you further from reality. This isn't a happier ending. It's beautifully bittersweet for sure. But really, it's Alex's ideal ending. And it shows us exactly how he's been able to manipulate the entire game. Here we have seen content that would be cut from the game allegedly, and we have stuff that the producer wouldn't have seen. Not in our real world, but in the fictional world. That things have been changed within the game's own world that people outside of it do not have control over. Or even don't know about. We had to turn off the electronic eye to even get to this point. Some kind of supervisor that was keeping this stuff hidden behind the curtain.
You came! I'm happy you made that choice. Did you bring Dolly? I'm so glad you kept him safe. Take my hand, and let me show you where I've been. Leaving behind friends is sad, but I promise there is a world of beauty out here. I'm so happy we met here. Even if it was just a game. We'll be together in your waking reality one day. I'm sure of it. For all I know, we may already be.